What's up? Let me put this in the holster here. Gotta try to explain a lot in a little. Since YouTube only gives about 15 minutes to put out videos, and I'm not gonna be one of those cut and paste bloggers or anything like that because I don't have the time for that. So I'm gonna try to get everything out as efficiently and coherently as possible with this, but give you a little bit of background. Reason why I'm doing this is because our business, Triumphit, is involved in a documentary project that is actually going to start filming late August, maybe September, something like that. And they talk about getting me good and getting me to be a pro in front of the camera and stuff like that. And just so you guys understand, I hate being in front of the camera. It's not that I just don't really, I'm not an attention person, but I have to get used to it. So this is my attempt to actually get a little bit of time and start to really practice being able to communicate, and so you guys can see me and see who I am and what it is that I believe in regards to health, fitness, athletics, general just life as well. Being that I'm doing this while I'm driving, I'm planning on maybe doing one a week or something like this. I'm just gonna call this series Commutication, and because I really want to communicate to you guys what it is to be successful in your health and your fitness, certain philosophies and things that have helped me understand at a much deeper level, because too much of the industry is trying to not teach people what it really is to actually be able to develop and improve, or what responses really actually help make those improvements, because our world is so it's short-sighted. We have all of these sources and all of these things in media and social media that just give you the short side of it. If you do this, this will happen. Typically it's not that easy, and from certain health and fitness magazines telling you like, oh, do these exercises, or eat this and not that, and so on, like making too many restrictions, or telling you to do exercises that you may or may not be prepared for, or so on and so forth, that really you don't really learn. You see, you mimic, but you don't learn. And so there becomes a big disconnect from intended information to actual result. And when it comes down to everything, when we do something that we see on social media, we do something that we see, oh, that looks like a cool move, or this person's doing something that looks looks difficult, or is hard for me to do, or I've never seen before. Oftentimes in especially in fitness, we get into this desire to want to do things that are above and beyond, and more often than not, this is what actually ends up causing injuries, causing problems, causing so many different things, or even comparisons. Oh, well, this person did so many pull-ups with additional weight, or they did this cool weird single leg burpee to box over jump and backflip. I'm gonna try it. It's some of the most ridiculous stuff you've ever seen, but people have a desire to try to do it. the adaptability of the human body is incredible. Look at gymnasts. They're phenomenally powerful. Broad range of motion, strength in beginning and end ranges of motion, and really the stabilization through their joint and muscular systems is something that takes years and years of practice to do. So those of you just starting out, if you've never done something like that, don't do it. I can't urge you enough. Like, really, for the majority of us, for the people who are just working and training to be healthier, to maybe be stronger, or to lose body fat, or to improve your athletics, whatever sport you play at, doing these crazy, almost obscene maneuvers are really not necessary. Mastery is important. If you have an exercise program and you're trying to improve with that program, then know what you're working with and know how it is that you need to do it, and to be able to do it correctly. Mastery is even something that, some of you martial arts nerds out there would hear in the Bruce Lee quote, "I don't fear the man that's done 10,000 kicks. I fear the man that's done one kick 10,000 times." To do an exercise very well, you need to be able to actually almost have an intimate relationship with it. With squatting, you need to, make sure that you're completely engaged, and if you have a 20 rep warm-up that you're going to do with just the bar, that you can make each one of those repetitions as repeatable, not just look like, but they need to be repeatable, just as if you were doing a 1-rep max test. And the reason why is because that mental engagement, that focus, and that repeatability develops a habit. It develops a habit in your movement. It develops a motor pattern habit. So then it in turn creates a nervous system response to go, oh, I'm putting the bar on my back. I'm going to initiate a squat. How am I going to engage? How am I going to, load my weight through my system, engage the musculature, keep tight? Am I going to go faster? Am I going to go slow? Like, all of these things create a habit. And so trying to master and make that habit as efficient and repeatable, and mastering that is tremendously important. So until you know something very well, don't go off the deep end and try to do a double gainer if you can barely do a cannonball. Don't try to go too much too soon. And that's one of the big problems that we have in our society, is we're always trying to do too much too soon. We get everything we want right now, when really patience is a virtue. I remember years ago reading about a study that followed the success habits of kids, and I think it was something along the lines, and this could be very generalized. It's been a long time since I read this, but what were the success habits of people who wanted something now or wanted something later? I believe they used kids where they offered them 2 cookies, or 1 cookie. You could have 1 cookie now or 2 cookies later. And so they took the group that picked 1 cookie now, and then they followed them, and then they took the group that said 2 cookies later and followed them as well. And oftentimes the kids that waited for the 2 cookies later had more discipline, had more willpower, and achieved a lot more than the kids that wanted 1 cookie now. But the problem is our society is filled with 1 cookie people. We need to get away from this. We need to actually be able to show the discipline in the heart to be able to put off our own wants and needs to maybe reach for something better. So when you're trying to get that 500-pound deadlift and you can't keep your thoracic straight, or you're trying to save up money for a house, but a car looks really nice right now, the car will fulfill your want almost immediately, because it's tremendously less expensive than a house. You're going to need less for a down payment. Your monthly payments are going to be less, and so on and so forth. Just like you go into a deadlift and your thoracic just hunches and flop, hunches over and goes into flexion. Yeah, you may successfully get that pull finished somehow, but guess what? That eagerness to get it done now may rupture a disc, may herniate a disc, may cause a multitude of problems because of it, because you just wanted too much too soon. When it comes to exercise, when it comes to health and fitness, the idea and thought of getting everything now is probably the biggest mistake everybody makes. I want all the body fat gone now. I want all the muscle now. Everybody's in a big hurry, but where you're at beforehand is due to the fact of all of the decisions you've made in your life, in health, activity, and habit that have created you to be who you are. So if you're 20 years old, guess what? This is a 20-year habit, or maybe 15-year. But this is something that did not happen overnight. So your first year lifting, you may end up with a lot of progress if you do it intelligently, but you're not going to turn pro as a physique competitor or a bodybuilder in a year. It's going to take a long time and a lot of effort. So I encourage you guys to stop being one cookie people. Start being two cookie people. Believe me, I'd much rather have two cookies than one. And I have no problem knowing when I need to hold my ego back, to scale my workouts, to work intelligently, and to be able to allow myself more long-term progression, because I'm going to be much happier with that than I am that one cookie now. Because guess what? I'm going to want another cookie later if I don't. So I just want to say to all the veterans out there, God bless. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your dedication to serving this country. Thank you for being able to allow me as a Christian to practice and speak freely about what it is that I believe in, and that your families be blessed, that you be blessed. God bless you guys, and I hope that in these video logs and so on, that I can hopefully touch through to some of you guys that struggle with some of these things. So week by week I'll touch on different subjects, and week by week I will answer questions if you guys have any. So God bless and take care. In health, this is Mitch. Bye.